Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to New Frontier Forestry Edition. One of the 3 editions of this map, New Frontier, the only modded map we have available on FS25 to date. Couple notes on this. I'm starting with what you can see as $200,000 up in the top there, but I also have a $200,000 loan. So I was only able to get the $200,000 cash by borrowing it. So we do have that loan there. Property ranges from like 70,000 to, I think there's one up here that's like 190. Where is it? It's like right up here, I think. There's probably more than one, but I know there's one somewhere that's 183 right there. So there's definitely a range, right? I mean, you can see with every time I click, there's something different. So our starting lot has to be purchased out of that $200,000 we have. So obviously, if we buy like farmland 40 here, it's $176,000. It won't leave us a lot of money. But if we buy, even that one's worse. So anyways, I think you get to catch the drift, right? So depending on our starting lot, it's really going to impact how we go to work. So I'm going to get to how we're going to pick that starting lot in a second. So everything has to come out of that $200,000. A couple of little things. I'm in hard economy. We're limiting the quality of life mods like super strength, for example, or auto load. Eventually, we may bring on auto load if. Okay, I might leave a bit of that in. That was my 10-year-old sets a. That's a ringtone. That's crazy if you heard that in the background. Anyways, if you didn't, then this won't make it in. But eventually auto load might make an appearance, but not right away. Seasons are on, crop destruction's on, that kind of stuff. We're going to be using workers, and there are contracts on the map, so we can use those. But they're like wood transport and dead tree stuff. So, a little caveat on dead trees in the future we'll talk about. Each year, my capacity to borrow will increase. So in the first year of gameplay, we can borrow up to a maximum of $200,000, of which we're there already. When we get to year 2, that cap will go up by 50 grand, and then so on and so on. So if we're in a situation where we do need to borrow, each year we can increase that by $50,000. Leasing's allowed. If lease to own comes out, we'll use that. But anyways, I'm not going to limit the amount of things I can lease. We're just going to run with as much as I want, because ultimately, if you lease it and you use it, you're going to pay dearly for it. So I think we'll skip. So a couple more rules that are in place, but we'll get to those as we go here. Picking the lot. So I've gone and I've selected around 7, I believe. Eight potential pieces of property, each varying in price, each varying in opportunity. Let's just pop up into the air here. All right, and we'll bring up the big map. I'm going to show you quickly the lots that we have, and then we're going to randomly, we're going to set a random selection tool, and we're going to see what we end up with. So the first one's going to be just over here. All right, so we are kind of in one of the corners right now looking at this. So this is lot 16, if you're playing along, which, as you can see on the map, I'm looking diagonal. So that's up one side of the map, of the lot. That's up the other. So obviously there is quite a hill here, but there's a bit of a meadow in this section here. So having a bit of forestry, having a lot of forestry and having a bit of a meadow here, kind of gives us a good sort of cross section of what we can do. And then it does go up onto the hill here. That, I believe, is not on the property. Let's just see. Oh, no, it is. Okay, so I'm assuming that's probably going to be a cabin or something like that. So that's actually kind of cool. So this property, I didn't realize that was on there when I picked the lot. I wanted just something that was going to be a challenge. So this lot is an interesting one for me, and this is $163,000. So we'd be left with like $35,000 that we could use for whatever afterwards. I've gone and I've painted in some roads around the map just because I don't like driving across grass. So that's why there's a road here. Yeah, so our we don't quite reach. We do not quite reach the road, but we do have. So, anyways, there's some grass, there's some trees, there's a hill, there's apparently a building lot on top. That's lot 16. Lot 17 is right next to it, so it's kind of the same idea in that it's got some meadow. It's got some probably more flat ground. It has right there. There's another nice little meadow area. So that's a similar challenge to what lot 16 is. So I would say those two are very similar. 137,000, 163. So I'm assuming the 163,000 is because of the building piece on it. Maybe it's got more trees or something, and this one's 137. So I think if I had to choose, I would probably want this one. But we'll let the random selector tool do that for us. The next lot is going to be 33, which is going to be just down over here. So we'll just go back up. All right, so that's going to be like kind of right about here-ish, I guess. Let's go down to the far corner first. All right, so this is another one of these lots where probably more more of a substantial open area, but then a lot of good trees. I like this lot. I like 17. This I think is less money. Yeah, look, $78,000. Hook me up. This would be my first choice if we could get 33. That'd be awesome. Let me know in the comments if any of these lots are ones you started on. I'd be curious to know. And then if you're making videos, I'll also go check them out. All right. So the only edge of the map piece of land that is in the possibility is 37. So it's roughly like here. I picked it. I don't like stuff on the edge of the map because I just don't like seeing the edge of the map. But this one has a bit of a hill on the backside there. So what we're looking at is towards the edge of the map, obviously. So you can't quite see it. See, there's a bit of an open meadow up here. If we don't log right up to the very top, then maybe that's okay. I think this one's expensive, 131,000. So that's lot 37. Lot 40 is going to be okay. Back over here. So I picked a couple that are a little closer to the store. Not because I want to be closer to the store necessarily. Just again, it comes down to sort of the challenge that the lot provides or whatever. Okay, so this is going to be, we'd be roughly on one of the corners here. So you can see there's a lot of trees. There's a hill. Let's go to this corner. Yeah, so there's looking kind of in one direction. Beautiful lighting. Looking the other direction, it would cross this like little road that I put in. It would come out into the open area here. So that's lot 40 would be a good one. The only thing is lot 40 is close to the store, which is not the worst. And then the sell points, which are right up here. So it would be a little bit more convenient for us than say lot 37 as far as the proximity to things. So not opposed to that. Lot 43 is going to be so lot 43 is very close to or right next to the lot with the lower pond on it. Yeah, because the pond, it doesn't quite reach the pond. There's the pond. That's where a lot of people are starting. I do like that lot, but I didn't want to necessarily just go and start there. Lot 43 is 104,000. So that's right in the middle. Anything around 100 or less would be great. There's a couple more that are more expensive that are just going to make it challenging for us. So there's that one. And then lot 55 and 59. So 59 is just on the back side of this mountain. It has this building piece here, which I think this is kind of one of the best locations for a building lot. I think it faces this way because there's the drop off, and then it would look over top of your field. So you're basically looking diagonally across your opportunity here. I like this. I like this lot too. Quite far from the lumber yard, which is really our only option for selling until we buy a second piece of land is going to be what's on the map. I cannot put a sell point down until I buy my second piece of land. So that's just a little bit of a caveat there. And the last lot that we're looking at is 55, which is back over here. This is by far our flattest, most open piece of land that I've got on there. I wanted to include one that was like that. Just if I end up with this one, it's not the end of the world. I wouldn't be as excited about this one, but it's definitely gives us an opportunity to buy it, to sort of build a wider open farm, and then there's still a significant amount of trees to take down. Plus, I mean, really for convenience, we're not that far away. We're only like one block away from the store itself. That one only $98,000. Okay, not the worst if we got that. So there's going to be definitely a mix of some challenges. One of the harder ones is going to be 37, just because it's that far away from everything, and it has it's on a hill. That might be one of the bigger challenges. 59 also a big challenge. I mean, we have a massive hill, so there's only so much sort of level ground. But it'll be interesting. So I think what we're gonna do is let's do this. Let's bring up this so we can sort of see the most. I don't worry about the top corner there because we don't have anything in our random selector. And then I've got it loaded into an app on my phone, so I'm just screen recording that. All right, so there you can see I've got the wheel loaded there. So we have 16, 17, 33, 37, 40, 43, 59, and 55. A little bit out of order there, but anyways, it is what it is. So let's choose our fate right now and see what type of gameplay we're going to have, how much money we're going to have to spend, and the such, so we can get rolling here. Oh man, I hope this goes okay. I'm not too worried because obviously I selected these properties, but it's going to really be, what happens right now is really going to sort of put us in a direction here. So let's see, press to spin. $43 is, which one? Where is 43? Oh, 43 is the one right across. Okay. Yeah, all right, that's fine. $104,000. Let's go visit that one. Let's take a quick look. All right, let's shrink this map by a bit, and let's see. Okay, let's purchase it. Let's autosave. Let's purchase this. So the money is purchased. The money is out of the bank. 43, purchase. Yes. Okay, so we have one corner that is roughly here, probably. Yeah, roughly. Which would mean we're looking somewhat along this direction here. And somewhat along that direction. So obviously, this area here is going to be our farm. When I say our farm, our buildings and such. If we just pop up here. Yeah, so this is all trees. This, along this line's all trees. We got a crap load of trees there, kids. So probably right there. Yeah, there-ish. So that's all trees. Okay, so we do have some open area. We do have some trees. So just in regards to the land. So now that we know what land we're starting with, lot 43, that's good. We got that out of the way. We're left with $95,000 in the bank. So as I purchase new fields and expand, I can only purchase adjacent fields. So I couldn't jump over here and purchase a field. They have to be adjacent. So our neighboring field opportunities are $144,000. And I am going to include these sort of kitty corner type connections. So we have 144, 170, 131, 117, nothing cheap. 190. Oh, that's a big one right there. 98, 150, and 104. So it's about $100,000 and up is what we're going to have to spend in order to get our next piece of land. That next piece of land will open up the ability for us to put down a sell point. So if we wanted to put down, let's say, a sell everything sell point or whatever, we can't do that until we purchase one of these pieces of land. You can put down, I'm going to be able to put down whatever production that I want. So I could put down an oil mill, I could put down whatever I want on my piece of land, but I can't sell directly from it until I get that second piece of land. So basically I can't sell anything from my land until I get a piece of land. For example, you're going to see me quickly place down an industrial sawmill from Gaming Joy. Josh has created a fantastic tool there. At time of recording, I don't think it's actually on ModHub yet, but that has the ability for us to drag trees into it. It will give us the maximum amount of dollars for the wood that's included in that tree by volume, regardless of whether we delimit or cut it to the right size or whatever. And it will, and then we can just set it to sell on the hour, and it'll just sell the wood for us. So we'll always be getting max dollar for the wood. I can't put that down. I can put it down because it's also a production, so it'll create the planks and beams and stuff, but I can't use the awesome wood selling feature that it has or sell whatever I make directly from it. So that's just a bit of a caveat there to try to make things a little more challenging for myself. All right, so hopefully that explains the rest of it. Well, I guess the only last thing that I have that in place right now to restrict myself, this region where we've set up camp is does not it's not zoned for animal delivery. So the store exists, but they can't transport animals. So any animals we buy, we have to have something to transport them. We got to go and purchase them at the animal sell point, and then we have to which is obviously over beyond those hills, and then when we purchase that, we have to go pick it up. So that's that. So okay, I'm happy with that. I was kind of secretly hoping for like 16, 17, or even 40, I think was over here, because it would be a lot less moving. The transportation side of things would be less, but I am not disappointed with that lot. I think it gives us a ton of tree opportunity. So as you can see, we're going to be cutting down a ton of trees. And let's see what we have for equipment. So what I want right away is I want a vehicle of some kind, and I want to be able to start cutting some trees down. Is really what happens. So let's first go into the sale. I don't think I've ever used this tractor. $30,000 tractor. So we have 76 horsepower in this Z-Tor. I kind of have to buy this, don't I? We're 50% off, so this was a $60,000 tractor. So for 30 grand plus 32 plus this. So for 33, let's call it $34,000, I can get myself a 76 horsepower tractor with the ability to upgrade versus, is that under small tractors or is that under, it's that one, right? Yeah, okay. So versus this. This has the front linkage too. This is a good deal, actually, I guess. I don't think I've ever looked at this tractor. Can't change the colors on anything, which is kind of a bummer, but this is the new, I don't know about this thing, personally. Yeah, because even this, we go to 116 horsepower, which is great. At $45,000. Yeah, you know what? We'll try something new. I've never used this tractor. We'll buy it. We'll buy it with the base horsepower for now. We're gonna own it. So this will be our first tractor. Hello, first tractor. And you know what? Maybe we just stick with the standard tires. We'll get some Michelins, because really if I put the Michelins in the wide tires, yeah, 2000. All right, we'll go with the standard Michelins. We'll add the front loader. We only want that license plate on the back. That's $31,000. So I think what we're going to do is purchase our tractor setup. Actually, no, we should be okay. So let's buy that. Buy that with the base horsepower. Let's buy the loader arm. So was that a Z-Tor in orange? I don't ever remember seeing Z-Tor as a color. No, we don't have like a branded color for it. So we'll just go with the black loader arm. Maybe we'll put a little orange on there and hope it matches. Oof, $7,500 for this thing. Yes, let's go log fork, I guess. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to do, because we are going to have to transport some wood to sell. Let's come down to forestry here. All right. This trailer is funny because it's deceiving, because when you jump in there first, you're like, God, it's so expensive, and it's got a crane, but I don't want the crane. We just want the trailer. And this is extendable, which is good. I just don't know how long. We don't have a mod to tell us how long our logs are, so we're going to have to just sort of... wait, am I buying this? Yeah, I guess I'm going to buy this. At first here, we're just going to have to guesstimate that we have the right length of wood, which I think, from what I understand, is 6 meters. Let's get a weight, and then we'll be good. Weight. So we want a weight that has the ability to attach a trailer to it. So anything like with a pin like this, we should be able to attach that trailer to it. 650 kilograms, eh? For 1,100 bucks. 450, 600 for 1,000. Yeah, I'll just keep it black. And we'll purchase that. Okay, there you go. Now we should have a chainsaw. We should have a bit of a logging setup here. Yeah, so some of these trailers, like if you need a traditional sort of bumper hitch like you'd find on a truck or whatever, your tractor likely has it, and sometimes your trailer requires that kind of connection, but this pin hitch style is what this logging trailer is, so it actually works out well, because you don't have to... There's nothing worse than having to take the weight off every time you want to go and hook your trailer up, so if you can keep it on, it's good. Yeah, so there's the setup. I mean, you got a bit of an arch there, but maybe as we start to drive, perhaps, or as we start to load the logs, maybe it'll weigh it down. And then the cool thing with this trailer, yeah, there you go. So we can extend the back of it. I wonder if I can do that. Okay, so you can't extend it while the lights are out for some reason, but. Anyways, yeah, so that should be a decent setup for us. And all my complaining on Riverbend about not having a beacon, that beacon can pretty much go on now and never turn off. All right, so let's take one of our... so this road actually, I think, goes right through our property. So let's go for a bit of a drive here, and we will see what the land holds. So the story with this road is it's an old logging road. So there are places in this road where trees have grown through it, so we just have to watch out for those. Maybe at some point here we can work with the county and help take care of some of these trees, maybe cut them down and move them out of the way, or maybe, move if it's a protected tree or something. I don't know why you couldn't cut the tree down, but if it's for some reason we can't cut it down, then we can always maybe put some gravel down so we can go around it. Yeah, it's and really that was just me painting in the roads, and it's a little tedious, and I just didn't want to I didn't want to weave in and around trees, so I just painted right through the trees, and now we got to deal with it. So definitely not working with a story per se on this playthrough, but we'll goof around a little bit as we always do. I find I'm obsessively refreshing the Mod Hub web page to see if anything's launched. I've put this off playing on this map now for quite a while. Quite a while. It's only been out for a little while, but I've put it off because I've sort of been waiting for that perfect mod set. Yeah, we may want to upgrade our horsepower here once we get some money, because this thing's lagging at 20 miles an hour, or 20 kilometers an hour, and we don't even have a load on here. We're probably gonna want to make some money and then upgrade our horsepower. But yeah, I've sort of avoided it because I just didn't feel like there was an affordable set of mods that worked for something like this the way I want to do it. I mean, I know there are people, coming on board with $1 million and they're building their really awesome farms, and it's cool to see, but I just never really like playing big like that. So this is kind of a way of maybe tempering the progression a little while we kind of have fun on this map for an undetermined amount of time. I say that because, actually we're on our property. I was just cruising right through our property. So I say undetermined because I don't have any expectations. I don't have a goal necessarily. We're just going to start going and then see where we get to. Owning the map would be nice, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have to get there. Okay, so where is the corner of the lot here? Yeah, that should be pretty much the edge right there. So one thing that I like to do when I'm on a map like this, determine where that corner is. I find, for whatever reason on this map, when you put down, like say in this case here, we're going to put down a little bit of gravel just to mark off the corner. It's not super easy to see after. Maybe this gravel will be. I was probably just using the wrong gravel. It's kind of hard because I do have, paint and terraform everywhere. That mod but that's so it would allow me to sort of do that off our land, but I think that's okay. So let's just march along here. We'll go find the other corner. And then I think what we're going to do is work on getting this this area, like this sort of open area, cleaned up. And then we'll worry about the dense woods after. But I think if we can get, I mean, it's August right now. So if we can get this area cleaned up and then maybe get a field in or two, then that would allow us to kind of get ourselves ready for winter. I will do animals on here. I think what I want to do is, I'd like to probably have a goat farm and maybe work with some goat milk, which I understand is quite lucrative. And I've just never played with goats enabled and, farmed with them. So that could be fun, I guess. Okay, so there I am, right in the corner. All right, so that's roughly like that, and kind of like that. No. It was the other way. Kind of paint that back in. Yes, okay, so there. So, yeah, this whole section here along the road, I think, would be nice to get cleared out. This land here looks fairly flat. Yeah, look, everything along here. I tend to use, if you play Farming Simulator, you probably know this, but if you notice, this is a $3,000, or whatever, use this one, $7,000 shed. Here's a $6,000 shed. When you put it on, when you're trying to place it, notice how it says it's going to cost me, like, for example, $6,021 to put it right here. Well, that's because if it was 100% flat, it would just say 6,000. But because it'll have to terraform slightly, it's actually accounting for that. So if we got to an area that was like, well, it's not going to allow it. So look over here, see how it's $6,100? This is our land. If we go over here, it says land not owned by you. So it's kind of a good way to gauge where you can put things. But so this is less even over here because it's going to cost us more to put it down. I'm not putting that down right now, but we will. There is something I do want to put down. So there's the one corner right there, and then this comes across. It should somewhat line up. Okay, so it doesn't line up great, but but I think you get the idea. Somewhere along here is the edge of our property, and then it kind of goes this way and this way. So definitely not a science because I'm off by a bit there, but whatever, it is what it is. So yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we should probably focus on. Oh, there it is. Those lines there. We should probably focus on taking out whatever trees are along the road here, and then we'll go to the other side. And if we can start building out on either side of the road, and then maybe getting this area cleared, then that will allow us to put in some sheds, and then put in, start building out a field or whatever. I've been to a lot of farms that, roads go right through. So having this road go through here is actually kind of cool. We can build off of that, and then, if there were other farms on the land, having a right of way through the farmland is not unheard of. Where if we had sheds over here, but then our farmhouse was over here, for example, having that road go right through it is not abnormal. having a highway go through it might kind of suck, but I think you see that sometimes, right? Where, you'll see like an underpass even, where you can see fields on one side, farm on the other. And at some point the highway went in and the farmer had an underpass put in at the same time. I think that's how that works anyways. But okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is, we're probably going to do this over here because I think it's a little more dense. It's a little more dense back at this end of our property. And I think it was kind of flatter. So we may look at what it's like to put some of our initial infrastructure down this side. Yeah, and this, look at these trees. So we may focus on getting these trees out of here right away, and then there's that mark. So all these little trees, and then we're going to utilize this. So I mentioned the industrial sawmill from Gaming Joy. So what this does, this obviously is a sawmill. So it produces planks and long planks and beams. And then it also you can put wood in and take wood out. So you could drag any size log, whatever you want in here. It'll basically give you the calculation. Basically, you can maximize your value by selling out of here. So, but we're not going to sell right away, but we are going to work. So, I think what I'll do is we'll place it next to the road. It's got minimal. It's doing minimal damage to the area. I'm going to place it with the spawn point for the products that it makes. It will be at the back. And the roadside will be where we bring the wood, just because then anything across the road will be handy. Let's just place it right here, I guess. Perfect. I have all the interactive zone markers turned off right now, so we don't see necessarily anything, but let's do this. Let's just get a little bit of, just in case anything around the edges got a little funky. There wasn't a lot. I don't think we'll see a lot of deformation of the ground by placing that, which is good because it didn't look like it required too much. Let's take this sort of dirty gravel and we'll mark the outside of this. That tree's going to come out. And we'll basically just allow ourselves a bit of a pad here. You know me, I can't do anything without prepping the area. So this will be the beginnings of our life here on the map. Let's keep a little bit of a buffer between the road and our little sawmill here. We'll layer in a bit more of this gravel. I think I mentioned I do not have free landscaping on, right? I don't intend to turn it on either. All right, having a little bit of the grass still there is fine. I like the textures that we have right now in the game. I mean, it'd be nice to have more. The nice thing actually on this map that Ola Haldor, who is the map creator, has given us is basically he's given us access to more ground textures than the base game. So, which is great. Having those extra tools available to us is awesome. Okay, so that's a good spot right there. Some of these little birch trees are small enough that we'll be able to just drag them in. So I'm gonna benefit from the lumberjack mod, not in super strength. We're not going to use that, but I am going to use it to destroy the stumps. We're not going to suffer with the additional tool that we would need in order, like a stump grinding. We're just not going to bother with that. Now I did try, and I'll have to ask him. So Gaming Joy has a couple of really cool mods, I believe, going at some point onto the mod hub, but definitely on his GitHub. One is there's a Bednar Batwing, I guess. How heavy are these? Oh, 60 kilograms. All right, we should be able to pick that up. We can pick anything up to 200 kilograms without super strength. Anyways, yeah, he's got this Bednar. Every time you trip over something, it drops whatever you're carrying. He has a Bednar. It's a mulcher, I guess, but he's remodeled it so it will mow, it will cut up bushes, it will take out. There's a bush hog mode that will take out stumps. It's actually really cool. I actually tried to add it to my mod folder, but for some reason it didn't show up. So I figure we just start here now anyways, and then I'll figure out what's going on there at some point. So we'll get this wood in here, and then if you haven't seen this, the workings of this, we'll be able to see it now. So I think the button's over here. Oh, that's a flashlight. That's a chainsaw. Okay, so there. So it's in there now. So we have 527 liters of wood in here. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is not what we're going to use right now, but we could do this at some point. So if I activate wood, notice 100 wood goes in, 100 wood comes out. So I can take any tree. So for example, I could drag those horrible trees on Riverbend into this. It would give me credit for every liter of wood inside that tree. And then I could set it to sell. So it would take the wood in, give me every last ounce of literage that the tree has. I could set it to sell, and then on the hour it would sell at whatever the max or whatever the pricing is at the time, which is fantastic. In this where we are right now, I could do the same thing without having to go to the sawmill and just start cashing in on all these trees. We are 100% going to do that, but until I buy that second piece of property, we cannot use this feature. So for right now, we're not going to be storing any wood to sell the wood, but we will always try to have these productions going here. Okay, so let's do that. Eventually, we'll put in a cement factory, I guess, so we can start making the items, the bags of cement and the roof tiles, I think is what comes from there. And then we can start doing any building projects we would want to do. Probably early on, though, we're going to sell whatever spawns if the dollars are good, just because we are going to be looking to make some money here at the beginning. So a little bit of strategy when you have trees that are this close to your production. If we do this right, this should fall into the trigger, and then we can just sell it right away. That looks like it might have been good. Who did I see? Was it Bruce's Gaming? Did I see? No, you know what? It was somebody was streaming this map, and maybe it was FS Club, and they were dropping trees right onto the back of a truck and then just hitting the strap button and dragging them to where they wanted to sell them. That was kind of funny. So we are going to sell wood here, but just these ones that are really close, we're just going to have them fall into the production. So 7,900 liters right now. So we'll just get these initial ones into here so we're producing something, and then we'll go and we'll go take a load of wood over to the sawmill where we can sell, because I do want to get enough money to buy. So what I really want to do is get enough money so we can buy our second piece of land and begin selling the wood out of here. Like, see this? If I brought this over to the sawmill, it would be I wouldn't get very much for it, because I wouldn't have delimbed it, and the sizing would be all wrong. Where's our thing here? I think these trees would be on our property. But because we're using this magical industrial sawmill, we can just fell them into it and sell limbs and all, or input limbs and all. So currently, I don't have a source of water on the piece of land that we have. There's no body of water, which, I mean, I'm pretty sure we could probably, if we needed to get some water, we could probably take a trailer over to the pond that's not on our land and gain water there. Did that even go up? I don't even know if that went up, the total. But I also might look at, there's a mod that came out. It's more of like a decorative mod that that allows you to put ponds in and such. But those can then become a source of water, from what I understand. A little finicky in that you got to kind of watch how you put the water plane down. That if there's a substantial amount of the water plane underground, I don't think you can do anything around it. So we just have to sort of be picky with what we put in. But that'll make more sense maybe when we go and look at that. But I think that might be a good way of getting ourselves water. There is obviously the $500 option where you can access groundwater and indefinitely. There's no cost to it other than the $500 initial construction cost. We are utilizing that on Riverbend, so whether we use that here or not, I don't know. We have 88, 91. Okay, yeah, that went up. Yes, I don't honestly know if we'll utilize that here. I think I kind of like the idea of the pond better, just because it's something we haven't done, so it'd be a little bit different. All right, let's see how much weight this thing can move. That tree doesn't look very heavy. Our weight on the back should help. And we don't have to be too cute with this. We literally just have to get it near the trigger. So I don't know if I see this series as being like a forever series for us. I probably should have got the winch. I see this series as maybe being something that gets us to the point where we have some other maps available. I don't know, or whether we have some other vehicles available. I don't know. Maybe we. I wasn't overly enthusiastic, I'll say this, with just because we don't have those, old tractors and stuff. But I really wanted to play on this map. Not to mention, I've been overwhelmed by the response from the first few videos. I think episode 4 just went live today of Riverbend, and like, first of all, YouTube must be drunk, because I think like the first video is almost 5,000 views right now and ton of response. Really, like, it's just been pretty cool, but I don't really know why that is. So I can only think that the algorithm got mixed up. Maybe it confused me with somebody else. But I'm not complaining. That also has resulted in a massive spike in subscribers since like a week ago when the first episodes went live. So that could be just oh, that's a chunky spruce, or it's an aspen. Anyways, yeah, it could be just a symptom of FS25 and the new game being that it's a new game. That the algorithm is feeding my content to more people. I don't know what it is, but the initial sort of response has been pretty cool from those first couple of videos. So great news. Not that I'm out here to to generate subscribers, but I mean, at 1,000 subscribers, I did monetize the channel, so it is kind of. I think I've received like $120 from ad revenue, which I think is kind of funny. I was kind of hoping they'd send me a check and I would just sort of put it on the wall as like, oh, that's super weird that I'm making YouTube money. No Lamborghini in the near future, but anyways. But yeah, so the response from the first few videos has been crazy, so I really appreciate that. I did want to make some content to kind of feed that, I guess, but I don't want to make videos just for making videos. So I am gonna see if we can fall in love with this series and map. I am as I'm looking around right now, I am falling in love with this little corner of the map that we have. I think it seems quite picturesque and could be a good starter for us. I'm liking this little clearing here. I can really see where a shed will go. I mean, that dense forest over there is all ours. So I think this is going to clear up and turn out to be a pretty good little chunk. I didn't want just a wide open field. So I initially what I was going to do was run this sort of challenge series and just leave all, well, not the field, like there's some farmlands that have fields in them, but I was going to leave basically leave everything to chance and see what we ended up with. But then I just said, let's go pick a handful of properties, because there are some lots here which I just really did not want. I wouldn't have felt very inspired to work with them, so I didn't want just anything to pop up. But yeah, I like this one. I'm just glad that we didn't end up with, was it 37 that was on the edge of the map, way far away. I chose that one mostly because I knew it was going to be super painful, and I mean, you would have heard genuine disappointment probably had it selected that one. But yeah, I mean, this one, this lot, you probably didn't necessarily hear, outward joy, but you definitely heard a content player, happy with, or at least pleased, not unhappy with, or what did people always say? I don't hate it. I always think that's a funny phrase. I don't hate it. It's like, it's sort of like saying, well, I like it. It's such a sort of a pessimistic way of saying I like it, I think. I don't hate it. It's not the worst. So the one thing with Riverbend, what I did is I recorded 8 episodes immediately and then started editing them. I did that because I was sort of looking at the writing on the wall in my schedule, and I had an opportunity to play the game and record audio, which I don't always like. When my kids are here and whatever, I'm not necessarily, sitting on my computer for 2 hours, talking into it. Just the way our schedules were working, my older kid is injured, and he is more or less just laying low at his mom's. He's got the whole basement there, his little basement man cave, and he's got a treadmill there for rehab and that kind of stuff, where I just don't necessarily have. I've got a little gym here, but it's more set up for like a CrossFit type environment with barbells and things like that. There he's got more mobility stuff where he can walk, and he's sort of trying to come back from a bit of a back problem, i.e. broke it, but we can talk about that at some point if we haven't talked about it in Riverbend. But and then my younger kid's at his mom's right now, so this sort of worked out well. I pre-recorded 8 episodes of Riverbend. This though, I think I'd like to try to stay at least like within 2 if it's possible, so I don't have a ton of stuff recorded, and then we can kind of be live together, so to speak. Then if you've got feedback, suggestions, that kind of stuff, it can be a little more live. This one looks dead, doesn't it? Are these the dead ones? Anyways, yeah, we can be a little bit more live and interactive if I'm recording and posting closer to the actual event. Okay, so this probably is not going to be worth a lot of money, but limbing. So it seems like everybody's got their own strategy when it comes to limbing and what works for them. It seems like what works for me is I crouch, I turn the chainsaw sideways, and then I slowly make my way up the side of it, and it cuts. So I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it seems to be a thing for me. So, oh, that does tell me 9 meters. Okay, so I must have downloaded something. Oh, you know what? Okay, so while that tells me, I love the previous Lumberjack mod. You could sort of mouse along. Does it do it in the F1 menu? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, I didn't even realize. So if you look up there in the top, it's telling me we're at 2 meters, 3 meters. And I believe 6 meters is the length, so there you go. There's a 6 meter log. Oh, we just lost part of the log, but it's okay. Okay, so we're going to keep that little F1 menu up there to tell us how long these logs are. I don't think this one... I think this one here, so from what I understand listening to Josh, if we take deadwood, because deadwood still has density, because apparently the way the game works, and if you're listening to this, Josh, you'll be impressed, but I was listening when you were talking. The way the game works, in order to have a tree behave correctly, the Giants had to program mass into the deadwood, so that way it falls correctly, whatever. So the deadwood does have mass. If we took the deadwood to a traditional sell point, I think there's some code in the deadwood that then says, okay, well, you're only going to get pennies on the dollar. But when we bring it to this sawmill here, but when you put it in for production, so let's say you own any sawmill, not just this one, but when you put deadwood in for production, you're actually getting the value of the liters, so you're getting that to build with. So we'll put the deadwood in there. We should be getting at least the recognition of the volume of wood, and then rather than selling it. I think that should also mean that when we get to the point where we can put the wood in and then have it sell as wood, the deadwood will also be, we'll get the benefit for the full sort of volume of the wood, because it's sort of a sell point that's set up like a pass-through production sort of. It's funny, there was somebody made a comment on, I can pick that up. Somebody made a comment on, I don't know which episode of Riverbend, about how they were watched a couple, well, it must have been the second one, watched a couple episodes and really would have liked to watch more, but they didn't like my kind of rambling style, or I don't remember, something about I was all over the place and something like that. But honestly, I don't really give a shit. I mean, if you like the content, watch it. If you don't like it, well, don't watch it. But I just thought it was funny. I will go off in a million tangents, and I mean, I do this when I meet people on the street. I can strike up a conversation and go in a million different directions. That's not for everybody, and whatever. I can respect that, but this is so. I just dawned on me. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that person's watching. Comment if you're watching there, person. I don't remember what your name is. And let me know how rambling and unfocused this episode is too. Any engagement is good engagement, right? So even if you want to tell me how much you don't like the content, I'm sure Google's still giving me some kind of engagement credit. I'm assuming this is not a dead tree. It looks like the bark has deteriorated quite a bit. Okay, so if I'm right, then I should be able to use that to tell me how long this is. Yeah, look at that. Okay, that must have been, so is that like the more information? There's like a extended details or something. I don't know what it's called, but there's a mod that sort of just tells you more. I thought that was only for fields. Like if you walk up to a field, it'll give you the estimated yield and that kind of thing, but maybe it's working for the logs too. We're gonna fill this trailer, I guess, and then is that fine? That might be fine. Anyways, I'll get that fixed. So I'm gonna get down a few more trees. We're gonna fill this trailer, and we're gonna go do our first trip over to the sawmill. So hang tight, and I will be right back. All right, this is probably, I wouldn't call that a full load right now, but I'm kind of worried that with the 76 horsepower that we have in this tractor, that we might not be able to make it to the sawmill, the sell point. So I kind of want to just take this load maybe and see how it goes. Pretty uneventful. Everything's been behaving itself, which is good. I think partly because we don't have those horrible trees like on Riverbend, which are always interesting. Let's just do this. We have already a reasonable clearing here, to the point where if we wanted, we could put in a couple of buildings and probably even make a field. I think we might we may end up, so at the end of this episode here, I mean, this was an important one because we wanted to get set up, sort of set the tone for how this series is going to work, I guess. I think we'll probably, like I say, probably want to put in a small shed just so we have a place to park our tractor and our trailer, and then maybe we'll episode 2, because September we can plant things, so maybe in that month we'll put in a field. I'll take a look at what we can actually plant. To be honest, I don't really know, but we'll put in a field and get rocking with some traditional farming here in the woods. This is not going to be a farming series or a forestry series, although I I mean, by default, I'm on the forestry map, so there's a ton of trees. I just like the way it looks compared to the. There's the 3 versions I mentioned. One is sort of just, I don't know. The map is broken up into these massive chunks, and there's not necessarily as many trees. And then there's one that takes the map and breaks up into 69 fields, and then there's this version which is like a forestry plus the 69 fields. So we're on the forestry one. I just like the way all those trees look. So from what I understand, when Ola built the map, he built it in something that's not Giants Editor. I think that's how it got out. He was building it in something else, and I don't remember what it's called. And honestly, if I remembered, I don't even know what it is. But that's where he was. Oh, Houdini, I think is where it was. But anyways, that honestly means nothing to me. But one of the things that he was able to do was use sort of an algorithm to put the trees in. So I'm assuming it's sort of like a random tree spawner that would place trees based on kind of maybe where it environmentally should be or something. I don't know how that works. But so it's made for some very natural looking tree clusters, which is cool. I have a feeling like if you tend to leave that stuff up to yourself, then you end up with a lot of the same tree clusters popping up everywhere because you're placing trees, and you sort of may have a tendency to kind of click, if that's how you put them onto Giants Editor, I have no idea, but you would sort of click in similar patterns over and over again, whereas this computer software might just do a really good job of randomly placing. So I think we have a couple things working against us here right now. One might be these skinnier tires, because we have this standard tire size on, and that would be a traction thing. And 2, we have no horsepower, so that's had us down to a low of 12 kilometers an hour there, which is kind of tough. So if we wanted to carry bigger loads, that will be a challenge for us. Ultimately, if I can get enough money early on here to buy that second piece of land, and we can turn that industrial sawmill into a sell point, then we don't necessarily have to worry so much about transport power, but we will have to worry about farming power. So pulling things like plows or cultivators and seeders and stuff like that will require horsepower, and if we don't have it, then we're going to need it. So these are some of the fields. There will be contracts on these fields. There's probably one for harvesting right now on that one. But I'm not going to focus so much on contracts, as we're doing a lot of contracts on Riverbend. It's kind of, Riverbend's sort of been impossible not to do contracts, really. It's a tough one to get going without that contract money. And duly noted, the comment. Oh my gosh, sorry, I can't. I'm brutal with names, but the conversation I had about, is it fair to, like, let's say I have a $9,000 contract, so I'm getting paid $9,000. I'm borrowing the equipment at a sort of a fraction of maybe what a realistic leasing cost would be, and I'm paying a worker very low income, and I'm collecting the rest. So are the contracts necessarily set up realistically? Maybe not, especially when you use workers. Okay, the trigger's right here, I believe. $8,700. There we go. We almost got back the cost of putting in our little sawmill. Let's just drive over there. Alright, let's not do that again. We'll just back the wood in next time. Alright, we are just about back to the homestead. So that $8,700 for a trailer load. Not too bad. I mean, obviously if I did 10 of those, we'd have like 80 grand. That's good math for me right there. Just want to peek here and see what. So knowing Josh, Gaming Joy. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we're almost at. So this functions far better than the base game mini productions, in that we're already seeing almost to the point where we have some pallets and even 163 liters of wood chips. Hello, wood chips. My old friend wood chips. I'm going to refrain from chipping wood unless there's a cool mod with like a real processor, like a some kind of an interesting processor that we can use. I'm going to refrain from chipping much in this series. So I got a pretty decent clearing here. I think maybe what we'll end up doing... Oh, look at this tree here. Holy. The Manchurian red pine. That thing is a beast. Love the trees in this. And hate the trees. Anyways, I think I'll just chop while we're... Chop and chat. This portion of the episode is called Chop and Chat. Yeah, if there was an interesting... if something interesting came along and we could make wood chips, then interesting meaning like it was interactive in a certain way or it looked really cool, but I wouldn't worry about it too much otherwise. Being that there's so many trees here, and I don't necessarily want it to turn into forestry, but I mean, as far as productions go, we may want to look at like the paper mill, for example, because I think that is a building carried over from Silver Run, right? Is that the same paper mill that was in Silver Run? I really like that building, and I think it would suit this map quite well. You know, I'm going to try to stick to things that look right on the map too. Those things are all very expensive. Like I can only imagine the paper mill has got to be a couple $100,000. I'm only guessing. Like, does Deadwood say Deadwood on it? Or does it tell you the kind of tree and then you just have to guess that it's Deadwood because of the blotchiness? This tree kind of has that blotchy complexion that makes me think that it might be Deadwood. And there's no foliage or anything, so it's gone. Yeah, so maybe we'll do one more load to the sell point. Get our 8 to 10 grand or whatever it is. We'll put in a shed and then we'll call her. So the in-between episode type work will be, you know, I'm not going to hold back. You know, there'll definitely be some stuff happening in between episodes. I can think that it's going to be made up of, like, for example, felling trees and delimbing them, for example, and getting them organized, maybe, like that kind of thing. You know, we may run loads to sawmills and stuff together still. I don't want to do a ton of work where, you know, I come back and I say, hey, look at this, I just cleared every tree off the lot. And, you know, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It just dawned on me to look down and see if this tractor was going to explode or what. And I realized, because I did buy it used, it has 17 hours and it is about, oh, anyways, the health of the tractor is about 50%. All right, so I do want to get one more load sold, and I do want to, like I said, get a building place. So, but and just keeping in mind that I probably don't want to make 4-hour episodes. We have been recording for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm assuming there'll be a lot of stuff that I'll be able to cut out of that anyways, because I do tend to go off, like I mentioned, on many tangents. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this loaded. We're going to go deliver this together, and then we'll be back magically over to the lot here, at which point we'll find a shed. I've got my eyes on the sort of like old Finnish shed pack, I think is what it is. Partially because I feel an affinity to the Finnish culture and that half my family is from there, but also because I just like the way they look. They sort of are a little more rustic and run down, and I think fit well in a map like this. So we're going to build ourselves a nice little camp here, I think. It's not going to be any big Iowa corn farm sort of setup, but I also don't know that this is. I mean, Ola being Ola is, I think, from Norway, right? Is that where Rennebu is? Norway? He's the author of Rennebu. I think that sort of maybe lends itself to. This could be a forest in Finland for that matter, or it could be a forest here in Canada. Like, ooh, jeez. I think all of the environments are very similar, which is cool. But in saying that, I'd like to try to make as rustic a setup as we can, which I think would be pretty cool. So yes, let me get this loaded, and we will go for a drive together and make some money. All right, so this could be a problem. I think we got a little bit more wood on here than last time, at least by weight. So let's see how this goes. So that big mother of a tree there in the corner, I wanted to chop it down because I just wanted to make some money from it, but I also kind of like the way it looks. So we may start cutting around it and then see that tree might stay. I don't want to just come in here and clear cut everything. I'd like to have a decent looking farm also. So that we may hand pick some clusters to remain, but we'll see. And then there's some trees right here that are likely, like these ones that are on the road or off our property. So we may try to contact somebody at the county and see if we can't take those down. And if they want, we'll push them aside and they can come and collect them when they want. Or you know what, maybe they'll allow us to just take them and process them. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I was kind of like trying to fiddle with these logs here to straighten them out to think that I could fit some more. And then I thought, you know what, the more wood I put on here, the harder it's going to be to get up the hill over here. So why don't we just deal with what we have? I mean, it's a little janky the way it's all set up there. So I figured we'll just take what we got, see if we get the same $8,000 for this wood and go from there. Come on, buddy, get up the hill. So I don't think we're sitting too bad. I mean, if we do get the same amount of money that we got the last load, then we'll be sitting with about $40,000. So I think like we bought our property, we put in the mini production there, which is almost about to start producing pallets already. We have a tractor with the loader arms. The tractor that's potential, we could potentially upgrade it in horsepower. We've got a trailer. Like we've got kind of the tools we need in order to be able to get set up here already. And it's only day one, which is kind of cool. But while not really a survival series in that, we had money and whatever, but kind of in the current setup of FS, this is probably the best we could do. I just can't see starting with $0 and a chainsaw being much fun when your tractors are so expensive. I mean, there was a couple, were they Massey's? Yeah, a couple Massey's came out. So for like 30 grand, you can get a 4-wheel drive tractor, but it's still 30 grand. So it's not, $8,000 for an old tractor. I have yet to plant anything for myself in FS25 other than grass. So it'll be nice to plant some actual crops on this map. We kind of have to figure out what our focus will be. On one hand, I did say something about a paper factory, so it'd be nice to do something with wood. Obviously, right now we're producing planks and beams, but it would be nice to do some type of production with wood. I've not worked with goats, so I mean, I understand goats produce milk, so it'd be cool to maybe do something with goat milk. And then other than that, it'd be good just to farm, plant some crops and farm. And all right, here's the moment of truth as we figure out exactly how much money we're gonna make here. Love this logging trailer. $10,000. Okay, so we had some girth there, I think, in the wood. Okay, that's good. That's good news. I was kind of thinking maybe we'd be around the same. I couldn't tell how much wood we had on compared to the first load, but I guess that whatever that gray tree was that had nice, consistent logs, obviously the sawmill liked that, so it's fantastic. It's just we'll go take this drive together here. So this is the around the mountain road. We'll just enjoy the beauty of this map as we head back, and then we'll put a shed in so we can park our vehicle inside. As I'm going to say that right now, we're going to put a shed in, but we got to look at the money. I don't know how much they cost. I know how much kind of like the shed we put in on Riverbend cost. I think it was like $7,000 bucks, but I want to put something a little more substantial, but not overly fancy. So here's lot 16. So this could have been us here on the side. That's not bad, but I like the little pocket that we're sitting in, because I mean there's a sort of a big hill there, right? 17 I think was probably more desirable than 16, and that's this right now. The only reason I say that, I think, is you've got a little more tree coverage, so you could have built yourself a little enclave inside the trees. I think the road's just up here. One thing, when you paint these roads onto the map, it doesn't actually show on the map, so you can't really tell where they are, but I believe there's a turn. Or maybe it turns. Yeah, it turns and heads down. So I got to figure out what to do. I'm assuming that goats will eat grass, much the same as sheep. I think they behave the same way as sheep, right? You just can't shear them for wool. So if goats will eat grass, the one problem with the way the enclosures work on the map is that there's no capacity, so I can't put in like 100,000 liters of grass into a goat enclosure and then expect that they're gonna just eat it over time. I think I can only put like 3,000 liters of grass in at a time or whatever. So I was thinking that when we get some area cleared out, we may want to get a mow in. I'm not going to worry about mowing. Like, we're going to put a shed in here. Normally I would mow everything before I do any construction, but I think in this case we're going to put a shed in. I'm not going to worry about mowing right now. But when we do mow, I'll put in a pit, I think, for silage, just for cash. And then I think that, I don't know, like the meadow, we've been having such success with the meadow grass on Riverbend in that I don't even think the goats have touched the, I put in more roads than I thought. That one goes down to the bottom of the map. This one goes over to our property. Yeah, I don't even think the goats have touched the grass, or the sheep have touched the grass that we've given them on Riverbend. So I think they've only been eating the meadow. And the meadow hasn't depleted, which I thought the meadow was supposed to deplete. So maybe there's a glitch on Riverbend, and then we'll put in, goats here. They'll start eating the meadow grass and then quickly eat through it, and then we won't have anything to feed them. But I don't know. But I think if we cut grass over here with the thought that we'll put everything into silage, I don't know what to think, to be honest with you. On one hand, we can make a lot of silage, but I just don't want to have to buy a baler, I guess is really what I'm getting at. It's quiet out here, but when I'm in the tractor, it's so loud even though it's off. Oh, look, we have planks, or we have pallets already. And we still have 25,000 liters of wood in there. Okay, this is good news, folks. Oh, I like that. Anyways, okay, let's take a look at where we can put a shed. Backing onto here might be cool. Or backing here knowing that this could be a field. All right, let's see what those Finnish sheds are all about. There you go. Old garage shed, Finnish machinery. $18,000, eh? What is it? Ooh. I mean, that thing looks awesome, but that's a lot of money. Versus $18,000 here. And that has a lot of room. But the other bonus with these, I think I can change the color. Is that it? Oh, can I do that with this? No, because there's no... So when it gives you the option to customize up in the little advanced menu, yeah, that one customize, I can change the color of that. I don't really like that. I kind of like this one better. Yeah, this one looks more rustic to me, but we already have this on Riverbend, so I like the look of that. It's nice and old. No customized option for that. Not a big fan of this one. See, this looks nice. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? This with... Like, those look good together. They're getting into some serious money up here. But man, like something like this is going to be so nice on this land. Actually, this has like this weird, like sort of bulk storage section here. We could bring grass and dump it right on the ground in there, maybe. Maybe we can, and then pick it up and feed it to the sheep or the goats. This is kind of the direction we should be going. Look at this thing. It's got the drive-through overhang. Just man doors on the back. It's definitely not the biggest door. But that overhang is serious, and I think it puts down concrete. Okay, well, that's something we can aspire to. You know what, guys? I think we're gonna do this. I did say I'm not gonna do a lot of selling while you're not here, so I don't want to put any old shed down just for the fact of putting any old shed down. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end this here. In the next episode, I will have a number of trees already down. We'll probably have the trailer loaded to go do a run, but we'll have a number of trees down. I'll have them limbed. We'll be ready. They'll be cut to the right length. We'll load some trailer loads. We'll go sell them. We'll take the money we make and we'll buy ourselves a nice big, like we'll do it right out of the get-go. And then then this thing here, while I'm working, should be producing some more planks for us. So like these are already, what the heck? Oh, I'm like, why is this? What's this $25,000? So this is this is what I'm saying. I mean, this wood is good. So the quicker we can get it to a point where we can sell our stuff and buy that piece of property, the quicker we can start making money right out of the sawmill. But yeah, look at this. This stuff's good. Like, look at these beams. We should be making only beams. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, guys. So that's episode 1 here on New Frontier Forestry Edition. I like the little lot we've got here. I think it's going to be a good setup for us. We're going to try to, not progress too fast, but I'm also not going to stress out if we do. This is likely not going to be the sort of survival series that we do on FS25, but I just had to get onto this map and start playing. It's just beautiful. Like, look at this. This is my kind of deal here. So with that, guys, thanks so much. I appreciate everything. Please let me know in the comments what you would do in any of these situations, or if you think I'm an idiot because I did something a certain way. Have at her and let me know. But otherwise, thanks for all your support up to this point and coming back to making content. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the comments. All right, so take it easy. See you later.